So here is our screencast for Preterite versus Imperfect. If you prefer to watch Senor Jordan, I can definitely leave a link in Schoology to watch Senor Jordan, or you can listen to this. It's up to you. So first of all, like I said, you have your notes, and then you have this video side by side. So whatever notes that you need to add to your note sheet, you're going to do, or anything that you need to correct. Okay, so the first thing we're going to talk about is preterite versus imperfect. Preterite conjugations. I did leave an attachment in today's Schoology page that have our notes. So that was the green sheet that we got before we left. But if you lost it or don't have it handy, then I left the notes in Notability, or I'm sorry, in Schoology as an attachment for you. That's going to be coming in handy over the next few days, so make sure you have that on you, okay? Imperfect was pretty much easy. A lot of you guys got it. It was the abracadabra verb, right? So the AR verbs ended in abba, abas, abba, abamos, abais, and aban. Okay, so again, this is for imperfect. The endings for ER and IRs are the same. We had ia, ias, ia. Oops. My first time doing a screencast. Iamos, iais, and ian. Okay, so also remember that there are 3 irregulars: ir, ser, and ver. So if we were to just do the yo form, remember they all follow a pattern. Ir was iba, ser was era, and ver was veia. And then the rest of the pattern followed suit. So you had iba, ibas, iba, ibamos, ibais, iban. Remember, ibamos had the accent mark. Then era, eras, era, éramos has the accent mark. Erais, eran, and then veia all follow suit, and they all have the accent marks. Okay? So that was just the conjugation. So let's talk about the usages. Imperfect. This is just a really easy note sheet, okay, about the imperfect in terms of why we use it. I believe this was the bottom of your note sheet, okay? So imperfect is talking about things that happen in progress. I think probably the most important thing of this entire sheet that you see in front of you is this line, okay? Imperfect is talking about what used to happen in the past over an amount of time. So there's no beginning, there's no end. It's this repeated action, uninterrupted activity. These words here are those trigger words. So on your note sheet, some of you guys wrote things like todos los días, siempre was very popular. Oops. Come on now. De vez en cuando, a lot of you guys also mentioned. Oh my goodness. So those were good ones that you had. All the other ones there, do you notice how this one says, for example, like los lunes? Los lunes means like every Monday versus el lunes, which is just Monday, okay? So these words, again, if you don't have them, please copy them in your notebook, okay? The words that have to do with feelings, right? So verbs like querer, sentirse, esperar, amar, sentir, those verbs all have to do with feelings, and feelings is one of the emotions that has to do with the imperfect. That's when you use imperfect. Verbs of thought, okay, so pensar, creer, considerar, saber, desear, those also have to do with the imperfect because those are thoughts, okay? This part I have no idea why that's on there, so just ignore that, okay? I think what this is trying to say, like DVD from a camcorder or when you're recording something, right? So what is happening in the background? What's going on? What are you recording? What are people doing? And then maybe something interrupts that action, okay? We also had the idea of wide cuts, right? So in our notes we had wide cuts. Wide cut stood for was or wereing, which is up here. I is interrupted activity. So I was walking down the street and then someone said hi. The walking down the street is the imperfect because it's this ongoing action. D is description. E is emotions. C is continuous action. U is used to or repeated habitual action. T is time or temperature. And S is the state of things. So it was a cold night. She was 7 years old. It was raining. And then the thunder hit, right? So it's the state of things. That's how it works. So again, it's this continuous action in the past tense. No beginning, no end. So during this video, again, feel free to stop if you need to write stuff down in your notes. That's not a big deal. Preterite. Okay, preterite on the other hand has its own set of trigger words. Okay, so these here. So if you notice, like specifically the 3rd of December at 9 o'clock. Some of you guys were a little bit confused before I left as in terms of time on the clock. Time on the clock has to do with imperfect. So if you wanted to say eran las 9, it was 9 o'clock. It's like you're setting the stage. So notice this is using the verb ser. A las 9 is at 9 o'clock. At 9 o'clock is a specific time. So that has to do with the preterite. Okay. Also notice it says yesterday, last Monday, last night, last year, for 10 minutes. Okay, so those are specific amount of time. So those are things that you want to be mindful of. Okay. Also, the rules are for single events, sequential actions. So what are sequential actions? Those are actions that they're over. So I got up, I brushed my teeth, I took a shower, right? Those are events that one, boom, boom, boom. Those are sequential events. I got home, I fed the dog, I did my homework. Those are sequential events. Instantaneous actions, like I said, I was recording a video when my friend jumped out of the bushes. Interrupting actions, again, this idea of imperfect and preterite. So if you notice on this timeline, these are things, points in time that happened. I was born in Philadelphia. Here's your year. Oh my goodness, it's gonna drive me nuts. My family moved to Overland Park. That's the time. I graduated from this university on May the 15th. I started to teach ESL on August the 15th. I moved to Colorado. Do you notice those are points in time? And that's why those are preterite. Okay, so the last piece that we're going to talk about is, I'm going to show you this video that we've done before. So what we're going to do